Alright guys, what's going on? Tyler here. Floor gang. Not not really. I'm not floor gang. I'm not cool enough to be floor gang, guys. I know it's heartbreaking. I'm futon gang. I'm stupid almost chair, almost bed gang. It's not comfortable either. I'm gonna be doing a review for Resident Evil 3, and I kind of made a script for this, which is something I don't do for pretty much any of my videos. This part's not in the script because I'm just explaining the script. But yeah, I did a script for this, so I have like some bulletin points. I'm gonna go over it. I'm gonna cover all the points for this game, and then yeah, that'll be pretty much the video. So stick around, enjoy. Turn the music down so you can hear me. That's important. Alright, so Resident Evil 3, it is drastically different from the original Resident Evil 3. I've only played it once, the original, and that was a long time ago when I was a young boy. A very young boy. This game came out the year I was born, and I wasn't that young yet. It was a couple years after that. Doesn't matter. But it begins with an escape from Nemesis, escaping the city, escaping your apartment. He breaks into your apartment building. He's that creepy guy that follows you home after the bar. Nemesis is a simp. I'm gonna say it first. Nemesis is simp confirmed. He breaks into your apartment and you escape, obviously, or the game would end. You meet Brad. You lose Brad. It happens a lot in the beginning. You see Brad, you lose Brad. Brad's everywhere, Brad's nowhere. Brad is omnipotent. But then you meet Carlos, who, for his character, is kind of annoying at the beginning. I'm gonna be honest. You don't like either character, honestly, or at least I didn't. I really had a problem with how they designed Jill, but I think they brought it together and they made it really work at the end. We meet Carlos. He takes you down to the railway, and it's like, hey, we gotta make this train work. And Jill's like, listen, I can make train work. And then you have to go make train work. Carlos, you get the train working. Carlos is like, hey, I gotta stay behind. I gotta do some things. It's just part of my job. I work for Umbrella. Jill's like, oh my god, I hate Umbrella. They suck. But like, also you're pretty cool. So we're gonna see where this goes. So Carlos stays behind, and they take the train. Nemesis is like, hey, fuck your train, and he just crashes it. Well, he gets onto it, and then it explodes. It just be like that sometimes. The train crashes. Jill's the only survivor. You fight Nemesis. After the train crashes, they stock you up hardy for this boss fight for some reason. Super easy boss fight. And this is going to be spoilers, by the way. I don't know if well, I know I didn't say it. I 100% know I did not mention that before. There will be spoilers, though. Jill gets infected while Carlos is out of the police station looking for Dr. Nathaniel Bard, who apparently has the cure for this virus. And he's not at the police station, but they come in contact with him, and he's like, hey, send someone to the hospital. I need escape. And so, on their way to the hospital, they get a call. Jill's like, hey, help. Nemesis is bad boy. And then she gets infected. Carlos goes, he picks her up, carries her to the hospital, and then he searches the hospital, fighting off zombies and hunters. God, they redesigned the hunter. It looks insane. It looks more insect than it did reptile now, though. But like, I still like it. It was a good design. In the hardcore, it's either hardcore or inferno. There's a liquor in the hospital too. There's also liquors in the police station while playing as Carlos. You don't see him as Jill, actually. But you go through the hospital, you find Bard's room. There's a puzzle, obviously. And inside, he's dead. He's been shot by Nikolai, which Jill says later on when you play as her and explore the hospital as her. But you get the cure, you go to Jill, you administer the cure, of course, and then she recovers about, I think it's like a couple, I think it's 18 hours. She recovers 18 hours after the cure is administered, and she's ready to full send to destroy Umbrella. Yeah. And about that time, they announced their plan to just nuke Raccoon City. They're gonna take it off the map, just not exist anymore. And they're like, well, hang on, there are still people here. We can't let that happen yet. So one of the guys on Carlos's team is like, I'll contact the government. We'll get everything squared out, and we'll go from there. And then Carlos is like, well, I'm gonna go get more of that vaccine. I'll see you guys later. And then Jill wakes up and she's like, oh no, we're gonna explode. And then she's like, oh no, Carlos is underground without me. And so she chases after him. It's optional to explore the hospital with her, but it helps. It gets you more items. Just do it, unless you have the infinite rocket launcher, and then you really don't need to. But Jill goes underground to the lab where you don't see Carlos. There's a puzzle area that's a little tedious, in my opinion. And then, man, I feel bad for forgetting this guy's name. It starts with a T, but he gets wiped out by Nemesis, just absolutely slaughtered. And then Jill makes the vaccine. I don't know where Carlos is during any of this, but he goes, he makes the vaccine. Or Jill goes, she makes the vaccine, and she's on her way out. She gets the vaccine, she goes to the door, and you enter an obvious boss fight arena. And it's like, oh no, what's gonna happen here? Don't know. But you go halfway down the stairs, and then it initiates a cutscene. With that cutscene, Nemesis comes out, jumps down into the big boss fight room. Nikolai comes out. Nikolai is a member of the Umbrella, the UBCS, the Umbrella counter team, the same one that Carlos is on. And he's like, hey, I have a side job. I work a second job. And that second job is to sell Nemesis to the highest bidder, and then to also destroy Umbrella as a company. And he's like, so you're gonna go down there, and you're gonna fight Nemesis, and I'm gonna get my battle data, and then maybe I'll give you the vaccine. So you fight Nemesis, and honestly, it's a really easy boss fight. I like the way they did it, but if you have the grenade launcher or you have the rocket launcher, you could just sunlock him pretty much. And you defeat him. Nikolai runs away. Carlos appears halfway through there, and he's like, here, let me help. Which he doesn't really help all that much, if I'm being honest. And then after you fight him, you literally leave that room, you go to the next room, you save the game, and then you fight Nemesis again. He is a big, quivering mass of just disgusting Nemesis flesh at this point. And this is the final boss battle with Nemesis. It's a very short game, by the way. I'm gonna touch up on that later. It's really short. But that's the final boss fight with Nemesis. You get to use the railgun, which is great because they kind of did it similarly to the way they did the original Resident Evil 3 boss fight, except they changed it up a bit, but you could still feel it's similar to the original, and so I like that. But you kill him, and you go after Nikolai, who is on the roof near a helicopter. He just beat the hell out of Carlos, or at least it's implied, because you get up there and Carlos is taking a nice nap on the landing pad while Nikolai is getting ready to leave. But you get up there and you try to get the vaccine back. Nikolai throws it and then shoots it. You're upset, and then you have to you basically just have to shoot him, and you take his helicopter and you leave. And yeah, that's the game actually. This game just feels like a summary of the original. Like if someone was like, hey, what's Resident Evil 3 about? They'd be like, oh, you fight Nemesis. There's a Russian guy. He's kind of a dick. And then you leave with Carlos. Alright, so here's my opinion of the game. I think it's too short. My first playthrough, the one where I was going through collecting everything, that took about 6 hours, I think. 6 to 7. I think it was closer to 6. Maybe it was 5 something. But it wasn't long. And then that leads me to replayability. There's not a lot. They introduce a function called the shop. The shop allows you to spend points you've earned by completing challenges such as kill this many zombies with this gun or just kill this many zombies in general. And a lot of the trophies are linked to those too. So if you get the trophy for beating the game on hard, you'll complete a challenge and then you'll get the points for that challenge, which will then go towards points in the shop. And the shop allows you to get coins like defense coins, attack coins, kind of like what Resident Evil 7 did, except you just got those for like completing things instead of buying them in the shop. I don't like the shop function if it's not obvious. And basically how I did this, how I played through it was I beat it on my first run. I went through again, collected all the bobbleheads, and did some other things. And by that time, I had enough shop points to buy the infinite rocket launcher, and then that's how I got through Hardcore, Nightmare, and Inferno. There are 2 difficulties after Nightmare, and they're both really difficult. They test your ability on whether or not you know the mechanics, whether or not you know the dodge mechanic. But if you have the infinite rocket launcher, then it doesn't matter if you know the dodge mechanic, because you're just going to be destroying everything until you get to the final boss fight, and then you're going to need to know how to dodge, because Nemesis does so many attacks that you just can't get out of the way unless you know how to perfectly dodge. But with replayability, there's not much. Yes, it's harder, and you can unlock new weapons, but you only get 1 new unlockable costume, and the rest of the stuff is just stuff that'll help you like in-game. So if you want to beat it on the harder difficulty, then that's what the shop is for. But if you have no interest in beating the game again and playing through that same story, then there's no replayability. My shortest playthrough of the game was about 1 hour and 20 minutes. That's how short the game is if you have the rocket launcher and you're just running through everything that's optional you're ignoring. You're just hitting the key points like 1, 2, 3, game over. It took me about 1 hour and 20 minutes. And that's even on the Inferno difficulty. With only 5 saves, with only saving 5 times, and doing it under 1 hour and 45 minutes. I did it in 1 hour and 20 minutes, with exactly 5 saves. I got the S rank, and I got the trophy for that. It's not hard, especially since they make the infinite rocket launcher way more accessible than it needs to be. With Resident Evil 2, they did use the good system. Beat the game on really hard with an S rank, you get an infinite rocket launcher. But this is just like grind out kills, get a big gun. So is there a lot of replayability? Is there a lot of length? Not particularly. And that also kind of sums up my next point with completion bonus and difficulty. There's not much of a completion bonus at all. You beat the game and then you grind out kills until you get the other stuff in the shop, which aren't linked to any achievements, so you don't even need to do that. And the difficulties, they're not entirely harder. Inferno is the only one that doesn't do autosaves. Nightmare and Hardcore still have like autosaves. And Inferno doesn't even give you ink ribbons. You still get as many saves as you want. So I thought it was kind of stupid that they took the ink ribbons away. But that's just how they decided to do this game, and you can't really gripe about it because it's not going to change. Now, if I were to give this game a rating out of 10, I'd probably give it like a 7. Like a 7 out of 10. Because I did enjoy it. I had fun. I platinumed it. But would I do it again, knowing all it took to do? Probably not. And my final thoughts on the game are, it's fun, but don't pay full price for it. Don't give the 60. Wait for it to go out on sale or something on the Steam store or on whatever console you choose. But it's still fun. I didn't get to play the Resistance mode or whatever that comes with it, the other whole new game that comes with it, because I don't have PlayStation Plus, so I'm just not going to be playing it. Alright, thank you for watching this video. I know that was a little long-winded. You've probably never heard me talk for that long, but that's just because I had it planned out. I know what I was going to say. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video.